All right, it is 6 o'clock, so we'll call this study session to order. Tonight we'll be talking about Fox Run Golf Course and where we've been, where we're going. Just kind of lay out for you the plan for this evening. We'll start off with Todd talking about some of the highlights that he put together for us in our packet regarding, oh, yeah, we can do that too, once I'm done yapping away here. He put together some of the feedback we've gotten in the last month during the meetings and some other information, so we'll talk us through that. Then we'll talk to the Great Life staff about what they've been seeing for the last month. Then we'll have some commission questions, and then if we have time, we'll get to some public input as well. So, with that being said, Al, let's do roll call.
Benson.
Here.
Sarda.
Yep.
Burden. Here. Gross. Here. Hoffner.
Here.
Maibaum. Here. Minor.
Here.
Mayor Johnson.
Here.
City Manager Nelson.
Here.
City Attorney Denver.
Here. All right, Todd, if you could take it away.
Thank you, Commissioners. So looking at golf statistics is to get to where we're at today, it's basically we're talking over the last 10 years. In 2009, we had about 35,000 rounds out at the course. In 2016, we had 19,231. So we were down about 45% in rounds of golf out at the golf course. And if you start to look into those numbers, we are down 41% on pass holder rounds. We're also down about 59% on green fee rounds. Season passes in 2010, we had a high of 470. Looking at 2016, we were at 377, and now in 2018, we're down to 268. So we've seen about a 43% decrease in season passes. Total season pass revenue has dropped about 15%. Again, we do have rate increases in there, so the season pass revenues decreased about 15%. Green fee revenues, that's the walk-up golf, those revenues are off from the high in 2009. They're off about 23%. So total operating revenue, again, 2010 was our best year, almost $900,000 in revenue. In 2016, we're down about down to $701,000 in operating revenue. So that's about a 22% decrease in operating revenues. Total operating expenses looking 2009 through 2016, we've only seen about a 4% increase in total expenses out at the golf course. So where we're really suffering is on the revenue side. Losses then, again, anywhere from, and again, it all depends if you have the billing and administration fee in or not in, but anyway, 2009 had about a $5,000 loss. 2010 was our last year where we made a little bit of a profit. 2016, when we had 3 full-time staff in the clubhouse, that was our year with the biggest loss at $199,677. So again, just some different data to show where we've come from in the last 10 years. This year, when Tom Jeffers decided to leave us, he was planning on leaving in the middle of July. Talking to the course where he was going to, they wanted him there even earlier than that, so then it looked like early July. So when he left us, we knew we wanted to do something. Again, Amanda Schaefer, who's our assistant golf operations out at the golf course, obviously does a great job with food and beverage, and we've seen that this year in our numbers. But on the golf side, she doesn't have the experience on the golf side, and we have a full schedule of events and outings yet through the month of September, and even some events and outings into October. So we knew we needed to do something on the golf side. That's where in the past we had talked about Great Life. Again, we became an affiliate with Great Life both at the golf course and the Summit Activity Center these last couple years. So we already had that relationship. And just so you understand a little bit about that relationship, as of August 9th, 2018, there are 158 Great Life memberships in the 57078 zip code. So even before this summer, things transpired the way they did. Again, we've had people drop SAC memberships once we became an affiliate with Great Life because of some of the amenities that they also offer in the Sioux Falls area. either people have relatives up there, whether it's sons, daughters, other family members, or just in their daily lives, weekends, they're up there enough, they want to play tennis, they want to lift when they're up there, doing whatever else they're doing, play golf, those different type of things. So again, there are 158 Great Life memberships in the 57078 zip code as of August 9th. So that kind of got us to where we were at and talking what we were going to do for the rest of this year. We could have put out advertisements, obviously, for trying to recruit a golf pro, but we were in the heart of the season, and we were going to need somebody to deal with the golf outings that were coming up as our part-time staff started to leave us at the end of July. So we started discussions with Great Life. They were willing to come down and be kind of like a temporary agency for us and provide us with some golf operations management now through the end of the year, and we have that in place. So if there's any questions that you have of them of how it's going, we have their staff here tonight that can answer some of those questions. Since they've been on site, we've had golf outings. Things are going okay. We heard a hiccup about a senior golf event that we had with some scoring at the end, but other than that, things have been going fairly well with them in place. We've had we've had 2 official golf advisory board meetings since we started these discussions. We had 1 meeting that didn't have a quorum, and there was still some discussion that took place with the people that were in the clubhouse that day. We had the August 1st public meeting. And then last Wednesday night, we had another public meeting after Women's League to allow for people that weren't able to come to that Wednesday night, that August 1st Wednesday night meeting, or if they were playing in Women's League, then they had an opportunity to still play in the Women's League and have a question and answer session with Great Life. So that kind of gets us to where we're at. They're willing to be the management company for us until we get to the end of December. Now, starting this next month, we will start negotiating to see if we can get a full lease. And when we talk about a full lease for 2019, what a full lease means is Great Life would pay us a fee to have the ability to operate the course. The operational budget is completely theirs, both clubhouse and maintenance-wise. So they pay us a fee. They're allowed to operate the golf course as they see fit. The one catch on that is capital. We'll, again, as we negotiate, have to figure out what that fee is going to be, but then also on the capital, usually there's a split there where we would still put in some capital, realizing that if and when Great Life no longer wants to provide golf services in Yankton, we still own the golf course. The capital that was put in, unless it's mowers or mobile equipment, usually the permanent capital stuff obviously is going to stay on the course and going to stay with the city of Yankton. So we'll have to negotiate whether it's 50-50 on capital, and again, then they look at the operation and the number of years that they have on a lease and start to put together a capital plan. So we have negotiations that'll have to be happening now in the next couple months, really looking at a timeline of trying to have something before the public and the commission that they can talk about and look at before we'd ever bring it to the commission for action. So probably need something done and out to the public by the beginning of November. So by the end of November, we're able to bring it to the commission and see whether we're going to go that route or not. In our meetings that we've had with our season pass holders, other patrons of the golf course, other community members, things that have been brought up that if we go down the road and we do get a lease put in place, concerns that have been brought up to us is golf carts, private golf carts, what happens to those on different golf courses that Great Life is involved with. We have people that not only store private carts at our course, but also have them at home and they drive to the course, so they want to be reassured that private carts are still going to be a part of the operation. There's been questions about memberships, and that they're all annuals, they pay monthly, they can pay it all in one lump sum if they like, there are refunds given. We have heard from a few of the patrons that understanding that Great Life's model is fitness and golf together, not just a golf model. We have heard from some patrons that they really would like to see just a golf fee and not have to pay for services that they're never going to use, such as the fitness or the movie theaters or the bowling or whatever you have that way. Again, Great Life has tried to stress that what they've seen and where they're coming from is the model of just golf is broken, so that's why they're partnering and putting fitness and golf together. If somebody's interested in just golf, then walk-up golf fees may be the answer there if a membership doesn't pencil out on paper for somebody. Other things that we've heard from people, concern about the capital, again, out there at the golf course. What happens, again, if we allow Great Life to use the capital that's on the course? In a number of years, they decide to pull out and go away. We haven't put money in for capital, or they haven't put money in for capital, or the equipment is beyond its normal life use. When the city takes back over the course, we're going to have to pump a lot of money back in to get the capital back to where it is at an operational standpoint. So there's been some concern about that, looking at that and making sure we're keeping that in mind. Again, a lot of comments about Great Life being a for-profit. So again, if they can't make money on the course in Yankton, they're a for-profit. That means they either need to raise rates or they're going to have to cut expenses, and that may be at the cutting expenses might be, again, on the capital side, so they're not maintaining the course as well. Things that get broke don't get fixed. Those type of things have been brought out. Again, there was concern about leagues and lessons. Again, Great Life's model is they try to get people into the game, and they're focusing on families and youth and women, and they have clinics for not only youth and women and adults and families, but they run the junior golf leagues, the PGA junior golf leagues, and those type of things in Sioux Falls. So they're looking at growing the game. They don't want to, again, it's the business they're in, so they obviously have a reason to try to want to grow the game. Leagues, outings, tournaments, especially those that have some tradition at the course, there was concern about that if that stuff goes away. Again, Great Life has assured everybody with the courses that they're running currently that they still have leagues, they still have those traditional tournaments. Again, it's been brought up, and again, in the 10 years that I've been here, when I first came, we had high membership and a high number of outings and tournaments. Dave Sarda may even been on the golf advisory board back then and playing in leagues. And back then it was a concern that we had too many outings, too many tournaments. Members, season pass holders couldn't get on the course. We worked through time to get some of those outings and tournaments off of Saturdays, and some have just gone away. Great Life has said through these meetings, Tom realized it because Tom was starting to build back up outings and tournaments, is that, again, we need the season pass holders, we need the walk-up green fees, but we can't be giving away outings and tournaments that are bringing in $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 in a day. So again, there's concern that Great Life will try to do too many tournaments. And again, they've given some examples of courses where they've almost cut the number of tournaments in half since they've taken over because there was too many. But they also realize that you got to have those tournaments and outings on the revenue side. So there's been some of those concerns. Again, a lot of notes, a lot of different things to talk about, but I'll stop there. If you have questions for Great Life on how things are going this year, we can gladly entertain those, or if there's other questions about future or whatever the case may be, we can take those.
So Commissioners, are you all right with the Great Life staff talking about what they've seen in the last month, and then we'll go from there?
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, my name's Jason Sungay. I'm Director of Golf for Great Life. And first of all, we're excited to be down in Yankton at Fox Run. We think there's a good opportunity here to grow the game of golf and turn around the golf course, and we're excited to be here. So that's number one. If we weren't excited, we wouldn't be here right now. So we're happy to be down here and happy to be helping you guys out through the rest of the year and, hopefully beyond. As far as what I've seen coming down, Matt Drake has been down here most of the day today. I'll have him come in and talk a little bit more about that. But from I've probably been down here 5 or 6 times now, and everything seems to be going pretty good. There hasn't been any big hiccups on my end that I've seen. Just trying to get used to the tournaments, getting to know all the staff members, all the patrons, all the season pass holders and everything, and just trying to get a feel, of how Fox Run works, and how you guys kind of run the golf course and everything. So on my end, as far as the management goes, everything's going pretty good, pretty much as planned. No big hiccups or setbacks or anything like that. We'll talk about what things that we can improve and things of that nature. But, like Todd talked about, there are discussions about pricing and carts and leagues and all that kind of stuff. And those are things that we'll just have to either negotiate in with Fox Run, what we want to do, or, just kind of bring that model, from Sioux Falls down here. And we'll evaluate pricing and see where we're going to go there. So, but with that being said, I'll kind of let Matt talk a little bit more about the day-to-day operations and what he's seen, within the last month.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Drake. I started coming, I think I came 2 days in July there and been down here every day since August. As far as the day-to-day operations, everything's been going smooth. Just kind of got thrown into the fire, trying to learn as much as I can. New system, a bunch of new team members, and meeting all the new members. As far as the members go, I think a lot of them have taken me in, and I haven't had any issues that I know about anyways, about any of the members. So they've all been treating me very well. As far as events, we still have quite a few events these upcoming months, which is going to be difficult because we are losing a lot of kids from high school back to Mount Marty. So the staffing levels are getting pretty low, but I think myself and Amanda have been doing a fairly good job on making sure everything's ready to go and just trying to, like I said, trying to catch up and learn as much as we can. Trying to teach Amanda more of the golf side of it too, and she's showing me the behind the scenes that she's been doing since Tom's been gone in early July, from what I understand. But yeah, we just had our City Classic tournament, which was one day at Fox Run, one day at Hillcrest. I think everything went really well. We had a pretty good turnout. So yeah, other than that, everything's been going really well. Just trying to find the right team members to kind of throw into the right situations. Just people that want to be there and happy to be there. But yeah, as far as members go, we got a pretty good turnout tonight. Like I said, they've all really taken me in, and I really can't complain. It's been fun kind of learning everything. Yeah, we still have quite a few more events. We're looking at getting a fall league for the men going. We're going to take 1 week of league off, and then I believe in the second week of September here, we're going to get going on the fall league for the men and the ladies as well, so they can still continue to play out through the year. So, but yeah, that's all I can really come up with. Any questions, or I'm sure I could ramble on more, but.
Hey, Matt, you mentioned a little bit of a learning curve, it sounded like, with our systems out at the course. Can you be more specific? What part of our system that we got going on out there required a bit of a learning curve?
So it's just like the tee sheet, the system they use to make tee times, collect money, that sort of thing. That was something new that I kind of came into. I had no previous knowledge with 4 reservations. In Sioux Falls, we use club automation, so it's a little bit different. A lot of it's been kind of the same, really easy to use, so it hasn't been too big of a transition, but I would say that's probably the biggest change, just learning the back end of that of that system, I would say.
So, as you've come in here, are there any apparent changes that you've seen the need for? Is there anything you've seen where you've thought we've done exceptionally well, or some room for improvement?
So I think everything has been running smoothly. There's obviously a little things here and there, like the scheduling aspect, just trying to modernize that, use I know in Sioux Falls we use a website where you can kind of clock in and clock out rather than using the time cards currently. So I mean, just for that way for the other team members, being able to just easier access. You come in, get on the computer, clock in, clock out that way. Just so that way you rely pretty heavily on the trust system, but then that way you can actually, in case someone does show up late, the honesty of it. As far as tournaments go, everything has been smooth. There's obviously little things that we can do on my end and our end, kind of making sure, just be a little more helpful, trying to because I know there's a tournament that we ran a couple weeks ago. We didn't fully get everyone's names. That was something that was set up before I arrived. So I talked with the tournament director and said next year, if we're still here, we're going to definitely improve on that just so that way, because it's kind of like the little things, making sure all the players are on the scorecard, tee sheet, just little minor things. But I think events, there's definitely room to make the experience a little more positive. I know our first big event that we had was the Truxedo. We set up like a little beer station out in the, what hole is that? Hole 7 out there in the comfort station. And I know I heard a lot of good feedback about that, and having a bev cart that didn't have to go on the other side of the train tracks. So I mean, just little things kind of like that, just making sure we can get, because I mean, that's a big revenue right there, getting the people the drinks that they need or want, especially on a big tournament day, so.
So looking ahead, again, if you have questions about the operation that's going on out there currently, you can ask those. But as we look then to the future, as we, again, talked about now in the next couple of months, having to try to sit down and negotiate a lease, these are some things that we've got on paper that we want to keep in front of us as we're, again, going through those negotiations. But the City of Yankton expects that the course will feature excellent playing conditions and continue to be operated as accessible, affordable, and user-friendly golf facilities for players of all ages and skill levels. The leaseholder service will include, but are not limited to, provide high-quality, state-of-the-art golf course operations with emphasis on excellent course playability and an exceptional level of customer service. Maintain golf course and all facilities to preserve and enhance the city's investment. Operate and manage the pro shop facility, golf cart facilities, and the golf cart operation. Provide food, refreshment, and event catering services in the clubhouse and on the course during tournaments, outings, plays, leagues. Promote and market the course to improve the city's market share in the region. Develop and implement recommendations for capital improvement master plan. And initiate new programs and services to increase usage of the golf system. The leaseholder will be an independent contractor and shall furnish all management, supervision, labor, and all other services as required by the city, consistent with generally accepted operations of a public golf course facility. So those are some of the things that we're, again, trying to keep in front of us now as we start to think about next year.
Jason, this may be a question for you. Have you negotiated leases with other courses? And if we could have you go to the mic, we're filming this. Thank you.
Thank you. I personally have not. Don and Tom take care of all that. Don's currently on vacation right now, otherwise he would be down here. But Don and Tom pretty much take care of all that. As far as leases, you know, we have a franchise facility over in Worthington, and then we have one over in Mitchell as well. At this point in time, we did have a lease agreement with Central Valley Golf Course in Hartford. It was a lease to own program, and we did end up buying that golf course from the shareholders, I guess, of Hartford and Fox Run. And we currently do have a lease agreement with Rocky Run up in Del Rapids. So we have had several lease agreements that we have available, have done, I should say, with 2 other golf courses that are currently in our management program.
The Missouri and Kansas units have leases on public courses. So there are a few courses that they do have public leases on too.
So do you know anything? Is it typically a 2 or 3 year lease that you're looking for? Or?
You know, all those are negotiable. You know, we prefer, you know, at least probably a 3 to 5 year lease, you know, just because, you know, it'll be, you know, tough to turn it around maybe in 1 year, you know, or even 2 years. But, you know, so at least a longer term lease to give us a good opportunity to turn things around.
So with a 3 to 5 year time frame in mind, where can we expect to see Great Life as an entity in 3 to 5 years? What are your goals for maybe more courses, more facilities, all of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for us, it's, you know, we just need memberships. So we just need to get memberships. So we're a membership-based organization, and, you know, Todd talked a little bit about, you know, our membership structure. If, you know, people want a golf-only membership versus a, you know, fitness only if they don't do the fitness, can I have a golf? Well, that model is broken, in some communities. And so for us, golf by itself might not necessarily make it. Fitness by itself might not necessarily make it. But if you combine the two, that's where you start to get something. So if we can build that membership base within the golf and fitness world, then that's where we'll get those memberships. That's where we'll create more play, and create more rounds of golf, create more revenue, that auxiliary revenue with carts and food and beverage and everything there.
Again, not for Jason to say it, but again, Tom Walsh has made known he wants to take the model national. So again, whether that would happen in 3 to 5 years, I'm not sure. But again, his ultimate goal, he said it to us in person. Again, there was a news clip on TV at the end of the week on whichever station up in Sioux Falls. But again, Tom's goal, again, ultimate goal is to take this model that they're working on in our region and make it a national company.
Yeah, we have had organizations from around the country that have came to visit Sioux Falls, and that's kind of our main model is up in Sioux Falls. We do have a signed agreement with Salt Lake City, Utah, so we're in negotiations of making sure everything's going there. But yeah, we're looking to bring this nationwide, and the model works. I know. A lot of people are asking, well, how and why and everything, but it's just a matter of that golf and that fitness, model. If somebody plays 10 times a year and they work out a little bit, well, this is a good model for them. If somebody plays golf 50, 70 times a year, well, this is a good model for them, even if they don't do fitness. I mean, just because the value's there. It's not like the model isn't for charging $100 a month or $150 a month or anything like that. It's to keep it reasonable, keep it affordable, so we get more members to join.
Hey, Jason, a few of us from the community toured your facilities about a year and a half ago, I believe.
Yep.
And pretty impressive, but not along with the fitness and all the things that go along, whether it's bowling or arcade, whatever you have.
Mm-hmm.
You see enough of expansion in Yankton to cover a lot of those. And at the same time, and it sounded to me like Mr. Walsh was excited about Yankton, even back then, to say, hey, maybe he likes us enough to give us a deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we want to do.
He sounded pretty positive that he's been in this community obviously many times. So along that line, do you see a fit as far as all the features together in Yankton, or just golf and fitness, or golf and a gym membership?
Yeah, Tom's pretty innovative. He thinks outside the box. So, up in Sioux Falls, we happened to get into bowling because there's a bowling alley that just happened to be struggling. So, he ventured into the bowling business, and that's worked out very well, for us. And we have 4 golf simulators in there, and it's just more of an added benefit for our membership. It's kind of hard to say how many members do we have because of bowling. I mean, I don't know, but that added value is how many people are not quitting because, we have the bowling. So it's a good added value, and, who knows what he has stored for Yankton, if it's bowling or if it's, something with the campgrounds, or, who knows what it may be. But, we're definitely, love thinking outside the box, and if we can create a relationship with anybody, that'll help out and help create members and get members to join and get families and start building relationships. I mean, that's what we want to do.
Besides emphasizing customer service being top notch, I know that's important to your group. Besides that, do you, I should say, do you think, in a roundabout way, if we cut through it, really what you're telling a gym member that you should try golf? It really isn't it beyond, if you go cut through everything, isn't it come down to, hey, I see you're working out, you ever try golf?
Yeah, you know, and up in Sioux Falls, we allow our fitness-only members to play golf at Central Valley and Rocky Run on Mondays and Tuesdays. So they can play for free, just in hopes, yes, if they get out there and they like it, you know, hey, it's just an additional fee, $20 a month, you know, essentially for a golf member, for a fitness member to join the golf side, you know, and if they play 1-2 times a month, well, you know, that's a good value for them.
And one more question. If you've seen our course so far, and it's probably a little early to tell these numbers, but have you seen a problem with capacity? Well, hopefully that is a problem, but maybe is that a certain limit where you'd say, hey, our members are having trouble golf, do we back off a little bit as far as, I don't know what rounds where would be at capacity or depending upon the day? Yeah,
right now, Willow Run and Baker Crossing are our two busiest golf courses. We do, depending on the year, a lot of it's going to depend on weather. We'll do probably from 39 to 43,000 rounds of golf on those two golf courses. This year, it's looking like it may be a little bit less just because of the rain, all the rain we had. It was snowing in April, you know, so that's usually a month that we're getting started. But Fox Run could definitely, I think, you know, that's a good number, you know, to try to achieve. You know, anything more than that, now you're going to have to look into, okay, how many more rounds can I get in the mornings, you know, weekday mornings, weekday early afternoons, your evenings and weekends, you know, those will, you know, kind of take care of itself, you know, so it's just growing those rounds, you know, on the off-peak times.
Again, to follow up kind of on some of the questions you've been asking, Great Life's mission is to enrich the lives of families and individuals through golf, fitness, and healthy lifestyles. Their visions are being the best in guest satisfaction, value, and convenience for golf and fitness, educating people about golf, fitness, nutrition, and healthy lifestyles, help families build strong relationships through involvement in sports, fitness, and healthy lifestyles, make a difference in people's lives, especially those of children. So again, with what we saw in their facilities in Sioux Falls and their other programming that they're doing, I think that fits very well with our new mission for the city of Yankton to provide exemplary experiences, services, and spaces that create opportunities for everyone to learn, engage, and thrive. So again, I think they have a great mission. Also, Nick Ovden, who's involved on their fitness side, did come down last Thursday and we toured the SAC. I provided some blueprints for different spaces in the SAC. They are interested in fitness, not only our facility, but they'll be looking at fitness, other businesses in town that are doing fitness to try to, again, get into that business here in Yankton. But the one thing to note is he also had pulled a camper down here, and he was going to reward his fitness managers for the great summer that they'd have by doing a camping trip down here over the weekend. So again, Sioux Falls, Yankton, there is a connection already. We know people come down here and spend the weekend in the summers camping and doing those type of things. So I think there can be a good connection, again, if we can get a lease worked out between with what they're doing in Sioux Falls and what we're doing here in Yankton. I think it'll be a good fit.
Are you familiar at all with the leases in those other communities with the public entities?
Yeah, not the fine details, no.
I was just curious if there are any challenges that have come up in those places as far as getting to an agreement or how things have played out since the leases have been signed?
Yeah, I know. The one thing, if it's not a win-win situation, then, you know, we don't want to do it. You know, so that's the biggest thing. Up in Rocky Run, I know for any capital improvements, it's a 50-50 split, you know, right now. And, you know, if it's not a win-win situation, then, you know, we're not interested. I mean, it's got to be good for both parties, otherwise eventually, you know, it'll fail. So.
Are there any other commission questions?
I got a quick question for you. One of the students up at Mount Marty, he had clued me into an app that he uses pretty religiously. You know, it's talking about getting golfers out early mornings, you know, filling some of those early morning tee times. He uses an app called Golf Now.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yep, I've heard of Golf Now.
So
You bet.
like, you can go to Golf Now, you can spend $20 through their app, and
Yep.
you can have a 11 a.m. tee time at Hillcrest, and that includes a cart.
Yep.
And then I'm just browsing through that app, for
Sure.
instance. So it seems like, you know, there's entities or apps like this out there that are trying to also
Mm-hmm.
encourage people to take advantage of maybe those odd tee times
Yep.
and incentivize them in different ways, basically just to get them on the course, I would think. But I don't see any in Sioux Falls that participate in this. I see Brandon shows up. But how do you guys get people to fill up those early morning tee times?
Yeah, pre-Great Life, that's when Golf Now was really getting started back in 2012, 2013. And Golf Now is basically, to me, I personally don't agree with Golf Now. And we had an opportunity to do that at Baker Crossing, and I chose not to. Just because you do get such a really good deal, I feel that devalues your product. So now you go play Hillcrest for $20. Well, basically you're saying Hillcrest is a $20 golf course. Well, obviously if anybody's played Hillcrest, it's more than a $20 golf course. So I don't believe in that model. Plus you have to give Golf Now, they get those tee times, so they're collecting revenue off of that as well. So really you're competing against yourself. So I mean, I'm not a fan, I guess, of Golf Now. So now to answer your question, how are we going to get, you know, other members or play out there? You know, just by providing a good experience, providing an exceptional experience, providing an exceptional golf course. I mean, they'll come and play. You know, just to, you know, just by, you know, doing those things, maybe have, you know, discounting is one option to do, but you know, I think there's other ways, you know, to do that. And for us, you know, building memberships is the case. I mean, like I said, for Great Life, it's all about members, you know, and creating members. And if you get those memberships, then this model will work. And we've gotten more memberships 100% of the time that we went into and took over other facilities. So we're pretty confident we can build the membership base and create those golfers that way.
And then I just quick follow-up. Thank you for that answer. I appreciate it.
Good answer, or good question, I should say.
You know, Todd had mentioned just a couple things at the top of his list, you know, going into future negotiations with you guys, and one of those points was affordability. So is it your opinion, though, that the Great Life experience is an affordable experience, or do you think that maybe should be something that we'd revisit? Maybe that's not an appropriate way to market this new opportunity.
So I mean, great. Okay, say that again. I don't know if I caught all of that.
Sure. Affordable.
Yep.
That was one of Todd's first bullet points. You know,
Yep.
that's going to be going into the negotiations with you guys.
Right.
So the Great Life opportunity here in Yankton, should our citizens consider that? It's an affordable option for not only golf but also fitness as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great option to have if you can combine golf and fitness for, you know, I'm just going to use the Sioux Falls prices for $80 a month, and you can get unlimited golf and unlimited fitness. I mean, I think that's a really good value, you know, for both. You know, even if you work out, most people work out in the wintertime, and in the summertime they're out playing golf, doing other activities. Well, I mean, this is a prime example for that. You know, our fitness gyms are a lot slower in the summertime up in Sioux Falls, as is, I think, every fitness, you know, center in the upper Midwest. And then your golf courses, you know, are going to be really busy. So I think that's a good mix. If husband plays golf, wife works out, that's a great mix, you know, right there. So, you know, with the kids using the swimming pool, you know, and everything. It's just a good value to have all those relationships that we have to build those memberships. So I think that's a good option. I mean it's worked for us, you know, and I hope we can make it work for the city of Yankton and Fox Run.
again, going back to kind of the members' concerns, so if you look at just golf or just fitness and compare us to Great Life, if you were just a member at Fox Run and you were going to be a golf and fitness member with Great Life, there would be an increase in what you spend each year on that. If you are just fitness, and again, we would get a relationship with Great Life on that end, and somebody just does fitness, there would be an increase on fees that they would pay to Great Life versus what they pay just at the Summit Activity Center. But if you do both, golf and fitness with the City of Yankton currently, looking what our fee structure is right now, if you're a single at both, you'd save $200 a year. If you're a couple and you have a membership at both, you'd save $390 a year. And if you're a family and you have a membership at the Summit and a family member out at Fox Run, you'd save about $425 a year. So again, it's going back to what model and how they've based their model and how they make it work. But anyway, there could be savings depending on what activities you're involved in right now.
Mind to assume the pricing structure may be different here than Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls is just an example.
Yeah, we'll have to evaluate that and see, what the market can bear and what we can do here. So I would imagine it would be fairly similar, in fee structures as we would, have in Sioux Falls.
Like, for instance, I think we're running a promotion at this point in the year at Summit Activity Center. I might be wrong, but I think it's like maybe a 10% discount for, I don't know. I think this is the time of year when we usually run discounts on memberships out there. So is that something that Great Life has ever done with whether you do the annual membership and you run periodic promotions, or are you pretty set with your pricing?
Yeah, so some of the promotions we've done in the past is refer a friend. So if you refer a friend, then you get either a gift card. We've done a $100 gift card. We've done $50 gift cards. So things of that nature. That's kind of where, we've had really good success with that. Just because, hey, you're a member, of a club, you want to get your friends to be a member at a club as well. So even though it's not a private club, but it's a club. And then other things we've done is, free months where, we'll have a promotion where you get, the first month free, and then, and then you would pay for the additional 12 months. So those two promotions are probably the two promotions that we've run, the most up in Sioux Falls. I know currently we're going to do a golf and fitness promotion here starting the 1st of September. It looks like we're going to do September and October for free, and then your membership would start November 1 for a golf and fitness membership. So essentially you would get 2 free months, to play golf and to work out, and then your membership would start November 1. But as far as discounting and, discounting our memberships and stuff, we really haven't, done anything like that.
We've talked about golf, fitness, bowling. The city has a pool, perhaps even an aquatic center in the future. Is that something that could play into the equation as well?
It very well could, yep. Yes.
I haven't heard you mention pools before, though. Would this be a first for Great Life?
No, we have a swimming pool at Wood Lake, and then we also have MB downtown Sioux Falls has a swimming pool as well. So we have 2 pools that all of our members have access to.
Are there any other commission questions? All right, at this time, let's open it up to the public. Do any of our audience members wish to address the commission on this subject? If so, please step to the podium and identify yourself.
Michelle Termanson. I've been a member at Fox Run since the beginning, and I guess my concern is Sioux Falls and Yankton are 2 different entities in the fact that Sioux Falls has 3 golf courses to choose from. They have three different exercise facilities. So I hope that our fees reflect that. And we're not Sioux Falls. Hopefully, you will make it affordable so that everyone can join. I know in the meeting the other night, especially the seniors, they don't want to go to the summit. They want to play golf. That's what their membership has been. I don't know. I know in the past that Great Life doesn't have a golf only, but I hope they do consider it here. The other concern I have is, excuse me, Great Life. You know, I mentioned this the other night, and I hope that Fox Run stays looking the way it has for many, many years. It has been taken care of wonderfully, and I just hope it stays like that.
Thank you, Michelle. Any other audience members wish to address the commission? All right. Amy and Todd, do you want to talk us through what the future looks like as far as the path to getting to a lease agreement? Should we decide to do that?
Sure. So the next step in my mind is that we will visit with Great Life and see if we can take a look at the leases they have with public courses in other communities, realizing those aren't from our state, but taking a look at what those are as well as the private courses. We will begin working with Great Life between Todd and Ross, I guess, and Great Life and their attorneys to begin with to get a draft, and then once we have sort of the skeleton put together, then we'll bring in the other commissioners that discussed that they wanted to be on a committee to start negotiating the details of the lease. And then when we have a draft, we'll bring that forward to the public and to the commission to take a look at and discuss. Probably give it more than one meeting so that we can take more comment and more feedback on things, and then bring it forward to you all for action either way. So there'll be more to come, and it'll be up to you if we have a draft by the end of September. Maybe that's something we want to take again into consideration for a work session to go through the details of that kind of a document. We'll see how far we are at that point, but that's my plan unless the commission would so desire some other direction.
Are there any other commission comments on the subject at hand? All right, I just want to take the time to thank Matt and Jason for visiting with us tonight about your experience here so far and what you perhaps see ahead for the future. Todd, thanks again for recapping all of that data for us. I just want to commend our city staff as well for being open to this adventure. You could be territorial about it and say this is what we've done and this is what we should continue to do, but you've been very cooperative in moving in a new direction, and so I thank you for having the courage to do that. And with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. All right. We are adjourned until 7 o'clock. Thank you very much.